Presenting Channeling Erik's Hour of Enlightenment.
Hey there, everybody. Oh, my God. I just see the time left. This is the menu. It's an hour and 29 seconds, so this must be but we're not going to go for an hour and 30 minutes, okay? Anyway, thank you guys for joining me, Elisa Medhus, my son, Erik Bruna Medhus, and Denise Ramon and Michelle Gray. And we're so lucky to have Denise here you guys know Denise, to, help us through Erik and through her own experience, learn how to connect with our spirit guides. I think that's so important. And, these are people that are with us, and they change. If you're writing a novel, all of a sudden they have ones that do that come into the fold and help you with that. So if you're going through health problems, there are spirit guides that come in. So they come and go. But the main thing is we almost never think about them, and we almost never ask them for help, even though they're sitting there waving their hands frantically saying, "It's me, come on, let me help you." So anyway, Denise, Erik, by the way, I love you, in case you forgot. Anyway, Denise Ramon, tell us, Erik, tell us what we can learn.
Well, Erik's been telling me, and it's been going on for the past few weeks, about directing people, because I've been getting people who want to know who their spirit guides are and this and that. And Erik is saying, the one that we really forget about the most is our higher self. That one is always guiding us and directing us. And that's, and that is, he tells me, that is one of the easier ones to connect with, to get to, because he says, because we already know that ourselves, so to say, and connecting what's connected to us. So it's kind of like he says, it gives people a point of reference that's my higher self, and and he says, for me, I named to my higher self Grace, because I love that name and it helps me to differentiate. So, and Erik does say, you can name it, and if you're a female, you can name it a male or whatever, because we're both energies. But he says, in connecting, he says, because we want someone that we can feel is tangible, something that we know, and that's why we get so caught up in having to know their names, who it is, and want to know, and want to know, and want to know. And he says, and this way, you are real, and then you just, he says, and then just start about connecting with your higher self. But for me to do that, and I had to go back to when I was oblivious to this kind of stuff, the best way for me is to do it by prayer, meditation, or sitting with some really soft, heartfelt music. And there's thousands of them on YouTube. And Erik says, you can even connect with him. Ask him, because he says, ask him, and he'll help you, guide you to connect with that. Because there is, and Erik was telling me earlier today, which I feel is the truth, because I've been told this before, we have like a council with us. It's like it's not just one. It's like a council is with us. But we're so conditioned to being alone that we think there's no one else that would be there for us. And there's, like you said, there is a lot. And Erik says it's like connecting with our higher self.
Interesting. So how can we practice, Erik? I mean, I'm thinking yes or no questions are a way to go, and maybe feel your higher self or spirit guides, sort of get an idea of what's your yes, what's your no. Is that a way to do it? And if so, what sensations could we expect?
Erik said yes, and he also was showing me using a pendulum, and he says you can get a piece of paper and write yes or no, and then write maybe on each side, and just practicing with that. And he said you can use anything as a pendulum. He says you can put a needle on some thread if you don't have anything. He says a necklace, a pendant, or something,
A washer on a string. That's easy.
Yes. He said yes. I was changing my pendulum out, and I heard, go get dental floss. It works good. because I was thinking
excellent.
what to put on it, and I didn't use dental floss because I found that something else. But at the time, I was like, "What else can I use?" And I heard use dental floss.
Should it be mint flavored?
I'm sorry.
Should it be mint flavored? I'm kidding. JK.
Eric would add aroma to the area. But Eric says,
so when you do yes or no written on paper, what I usually do is I crumple it all up and mix it all up so I don't know which is yes and which is no, and then I put the pendulum over it. But I found that a lot of people struggle with the pendulum if they don't do some sort of double-blinded thing, because it's like, I feel like it's so easy to influence the pendulum. So what I've done before, before I did the double-blinded way, is just keep in my mind, I wonder what the answer is going to be. I wonder what the answer is going to be. So you don't look at the pendulum. You don't feel like you're. But even still, that's not foolproof. So I have an actual stand that I put my pendulum on, hanging on it, a copper stand that I loop it on. But you have to keep saying, make it stronger, so that you really get it going.
Yeah, and Erik says what you can start out doing is say, show me a yes, show me a no.
Right.
And he says, doing that. But he also says, pay attention to the sensations in your body. He says we're real quick to discount that. And the sensation can be on the top of your head. It can be in your leg. It can be in your cheek. It can be in your neck, wherever. He says, so pay attention to the different sensations. And he says, and he's saying one of the biggest things is we're so afraid of being wrong or making a mistake or we're making this up. He said, so what if you're making it up? He says, you're having fun doing it. He says, but you will get to a place where you'll know it's the truth. And he says, also, Spirit always talks to us with love and compassion and gentleness. So it's anytime you get judgment involved in your answers, if you're whatever, he says, then you know that that's not source. That's not your guide. That's not, he goes, that's not me. He said, so just know that it comes from a place of love with whatever it's doing. But Erik says, some people may want to ask, like, am I going to get rich? Am I going to get married? And Erik says, all of that can be a yes, but some of it depends also on you, on what you're going to do. So you can't really say, okay, yes, I'm going to get rich, and you sit at home and don't do anything.
Yeah, and it's absolutely, there's free will involved, but also,
yes,
you're getting a snapshot of the quantum probability at the time, and that can change thanks to free will from you and others. So when I talk to my higher self, which is almost never, because I always forget, I'm so lazy. But anyway, the yes for my higher self is a sensation of bouncing up and down in the pranic tube, in my thorax.
Mm-hmm.
And the no is like a back and forth ladder, horizontally. But so, you can practice with your higher self and say, okay, show me your yes, show me your yes again. Just do it day after day after day so you really get what a yes feels like, and then the same with a no.
Erik says, very good, Mom.
Well, I was taught that. I didn't come up with it myself. So you could do the same thing with your spirit guide? Those sensations?
Erik is telling me yes, because it all comes from source. He's telling me yes. And our higher self is, it's all knowing too, and so Erik tells me yes, you can, but that's a place to start. But also Erik says, if that doesn't work for you, he says, he was saying, think of a color that's a feel good color for you, and just start connecting to the color and just seeing how that is, like envision yourself wrapped up in it, envision everything you touch is this color. And he says, just start getting into the feel of that. And he says, and this, when you start getting yourself where you're consciously like putting yourself in a place of what is he showing me? Like gentleness, sweetness, he says, then you're opened up to hear other things. And then you're in that centeredness of where you're connect. I can't think of what I want to say, the word I want to say. I know what I mean by, but it's like you are feeling then another energy, and you're more receptive to what's coming in.
All right, so Denise, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go on here. No, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, and as he says that, I know for me in the very, very beginning, in my early 20s, it's like what I connected to was like angels.
Oh,
and it was always the colors, blue and purple. And, and as things evolved, that color, purple and blue, always stayed with me.
Wow.
And to this day.
All right, so I want to ask both you, Denise, and Michelle, how do you speak with your spirit guides? I mean, do you use pendulums? Do you use dowsing rods? Do you just channel? Do you meditate? So we'll start with Michelle, because I hadn't heard her voice for a while. I can't remember what it sounds like. I'm kidding.
How could you forget my voice? I talk so much.
Never.
It was interesting because Denise, Erik was talking about the higher self with me as well.
Oh, fun.
Because we're connecting through the higher self. So we're right on the same track there. For myself, it really depends, because some days, sometimes Erik or my higher self will come through and talk to me, and I can do that for myself. But a lot of times when it comes to getting information for me, I will pull cards for myself and connect in that way. But also the pendulum, and I was sharing this with Denise the other day, is I made a little board, like a little in my my scrap or my book, and I was playing with Erik with it, and it's really interesting because it started to operate a little differently for me than it had before, and the pendulum started to feel like a magnet, and I made it almost look like a talking board, and I put like the alphabet on it, and I put the yes, no, I love you, and all of that sort of thing. And so I was playing with it and just getting Erik to answer certain questions and give me words and whatnot. And the pendulum was like a magnet against the paper. It held very straight. And so as I would go across each letter, it would hold like a magnet. And then when I would get to the letter that he wanted me to write down, then it would kind of it would bounce up a little bit and start to circle. And I could feel it as it was coming up to the letter. Now, most of the time I was getting the word, so he would start with the first couple letters, and then I would know what the word was, or I would know what the sentence was that he was saying. But for all intents and purposes, I'd still go through. But I was doing this, and I'll just tell you, I was doing this with Erik and my daughter last night, my 18-year-old daughter. And I asked him, Erik, would you give my daughter, do you want to give Maya a message or, something you want to say? And he said he wanted to give her one word. And so he spelled Miho to her. And I didn't know what it was, and we looked it up, and it was like a term of endearment for a son or a daughter in Spanish, or a friend.
Mijo. Yeah, Mijo, yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Mijo.
And so we asked him why that was, and he said because he had a life with her in Spain. And so he was using that term with her, and he gave us the year and everything. So it's interesting because I don't know about you, Denise, but sometimes for me, for myself personally, I can get information for myself and channel for myself, but it might take a little more work to do it because it's for me. So when I'm doing it for somebody else and channeling their higher self and their guides and Erik for other people, it flows a little differently, but it does take a little more practice and work for it to do it myself. But those are just some of the ways that I like to do it for me. Another thing Erik says too.
Yes.
Sorry?
No, go ahead.
Well, one other thing he said too is, don't discount messages that you get, whether it be through a card or divination or your intuition, that's like something very subtle and simple, like I love you. Because he says, a lot of times we're expecting it to be this big grand message or this big grand gesture. And many of the times it's a very subtle energy. And he says, and don't forget your gratitude. say thank you. I hear you. I know you're here. Thank you for this. Because the more that you do that, then you open up that energy more and more for more to come. He says that's how it works, because it's like a little straw that they're working through to connect with us. And as we pay more attention and we're more in the moment and we're looking for those signs and paying attention to the synchronicities and the subtleties, that straw becomes like a great big tube. So they have more ability to be able to connect to the vibration so that we can communicate more.
Well, the talking board you're talking about, that you're describing, it sounds like Eric's E-board, the Erik board, but instead of yes and no, it was like, hell no and, and fuck yeah and things like that. I would love to be able to use that on my own with the planchette, but it's not happening. My husband is too grounded. He can't work it with me. Only Robert or another medium seem to be able to work that with me. But it would be so nice to be able to talk to Erik, but even I do have this pendulum and also a wooden round thing that has letters and numbers and stuff on it. But even that, I can't get it to work. So what can you say, Erik, to us, that can't get this shit to work?
Erik he's sitting there because I tell you, I say an easy because I'm like Michelle, it is harder when I'm doing myself than with somebody else because you have to I have to clear me out of the way, and it seems like I'm a little more dense to move out of the way sometimes. But one of the easiest ways I've found is for me to go on a walk. And not a fast walk, but just a nice walk. And what I do a lot of times is just play some real calming music, like some Native American music or spa
or drumming.
music.
Maybe drumming.
Yes, and just listen to that low and just walk. And then as I'm walking, though, I'm really looking at what it is I'm seeing and smelling. And then it seems like then that's when things come in. Like, was it Saturday when I went walking and walked around the trail and then the neighborhood. Right as I went walking around the trail, in the dirt was written God, G-O-D. Wow. What did I do? Oh, that must be dog backwards. I'm looking at it wrong. And then when I was like, no, it's not, because and then I was like, okay. And then I was, just walking and listening, and then I saw a snake about 3 blocks later. And for me, that symbolizes something because the animals speak to us, and as Michelle's saying, the little things, but just connect, and I just start talking. And then the next thing you know, you're going to start having a full-on conversation, and your body almost does, it's almost like a light humming feel to it. It's just very, and I just walk, and that's an easier way for me to do it. But then I do in the morning come in and sit and play the music and stuff without words, because then I want to listen to what they say next. So I do no words. And I focus on my breathing. And if I do 10 minutes, then that's 10. If I do 30, it's 30. And Erik says that's the one thing he says he did so much when he was here was grading himself, if it was good enough, right enough, smart enough. And he says, just stop that. This isn't about any of that. There's no right way to do it. There's no perfect way to do it. It's just doing it, he says. And some of us can connect and space out and do amazing things, and others go for a walk and see the word God, and that's, enough.
Well, why can't the e-board or the pendulum with the talking board work for you?
Because he says you don't believe in yourself enough to do it. He says, Mom, he says, you are more intuitive than most people. And he says, but there's a part of you that is, he's telling me, is you're like, there's no way I can do this. And
yeah, so you're right. I mean, I always feel like I got to have a medium or somebody like that.
You are a medium.
Yeah.
Yes, you are.
You are a medium.
For a long time.
You couldn't be doing your scalar work if you weren't a medium.
Oh,
That's right.
Yeah, I
you're a
think you're
healer.
right. I get
Yeah.
what I feel like is knowledge that where did I come up with that, you know? All right, Denise. So, so how do you connect with your spirit guides? You say you take walks and stuff like that. Is there anything else you do that you can share with them?
I sometimes, when I'm sitting in my room where I do all my work here, I stare out the window and just kind of go into a daze, where you're just kind of like, and I just start talking, to my higher self, and I just ask, for them to come in, and I just start talking, and then I also feel, just try to see the sensations I'm feeling. And when I have an itch or need to move, I just try not to adjust those things like scratch or anything, because our humanness is so clever to distract us. So we think, we got to move, we got to get up. And if you just sit through those itches and annoyances and whatever, they'll pass. They really do.
They do. They do.
And the water too.
The what?
The water too. The water, and Erik was just saying for you, Elisa, too, because I know for myself that the shower and the bathtub, I have a much easier time flowing for myself.
Right.
And Erik says the same for you.
I don't take showers, but I agree. Mostly because I have to have Himalayan salt to get the crap that gets into my body to do potato work. Oh my God. Okay, but all right. So, what do each of you prefer? And I will ask Erik what he has to recommend. Talking to, communicating with higher self, with one or more spirit guides, or with Erik, or with the guardian angel? Or is there different for different circumstances? I mean, how do you know who to talk to, in other words?
Erik says it's whatever you feel inclined to talk to, whatever you feel safest to talk to. Some people are about, for me in the very beginning in my 20s, it was angels. That was gentle and that was okay, because I was in Jesus stuff, because I wasn't real okay with Jesus stuff back when I was in my early 20s. So, I had to start out in a gentleness way. And Erik says, whatever feels good to you. He said, you can do that. Connect with a tree.
Wow.
And he says, it doesn't have to be a figure of what we've been taught or what, but he says it's what feels good to you. And you can ask for both. I had to, when I had to do something a few weeks ago that was a bit sad for me, and I know. I just asked Erik and my brother Guy to please be with me and to please be with our baby, and I could have asked my mom, my guides, Jesus, or whoever, my dad, but I chose to have my brother and Guy there with me.
Oh. Okay, what about you, Michelle? Who's your go-to?
Honestly, it's Erik. That is usually who I go to, but that's also because Erik is who I learned directly from. That's where I started. So, for me, he's very comfortable, and I'm used to him. And also, my higher self as well. But I can tell the difference between my higher self and Erik, because my higher self has a different tone. Just like a different feel. And when Erik comes in, there's this very distinct personality to the feeling.
Right. Rascal
but
personality.
But definitely between the two of them, yeah.
Yeah, he's got that rascally personality, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Is he one of your spirit guides? Erik, are you one of Michelle's spirit guides?
He is. He said yes.
Wow. Oh, are you one of my spirit guides?
He said yes.
Oh.
Right away.
All right. Anything else you want to share before we take calls? Denise, Michelle, Erik?
Erik's just reminding everybody, like, there's so many listening that have asked Erik to be a spirit guide and who talk to Erik. And, Erik is there for you and there to help you connect with whom you want to, whether it be one of your guides, your angels, and just kind of jumping on what Denise said, it's who you're comfortable with, but he is such a networker and is so good in helping link us in with where we want to be. So he's like, don't be afraid to call on me. He's like, this is what I do.
Yeah, he loves it.
What I do. Yeah, he loves what he does.
What I do. Yes, he does.
He really
He's
does.
good at it, too.
Yeah. And he's getting better and better as time goes on.
He sure is.
Yeah. All right, you ready to take callers, Erik and Denise and Michelle?
Sure.
Yes.
Okay. First on the list. Okay, let me try this. Okay, good. I think it worked. First on the list, 912 area code. Hi there. How you doing?
Hi.
Hello.
Yes, it's James, aka Jimbo.
Jimbo. Oh my God. Yes. Okay, Erik there's probably like 4 or 5 people that he insists on giving a nickname to, and James is one of them. We call him Jimbo. And he has an Uncle Jim that he calls Jimbo too, which is kind of interesting. But I think it's really fascinating because he almost never does that. And I would like to know the meaning. Why? Why does he give certain people nicknames? I'm sorry to take over your question, but you could ask your question, Jim. But why is why is that? I'm thinking that maybe they had lives together. I don't know. What is it?
Well, what Erik said, right? He says because there is a life together that they've had, that they share.
Oh, I knew it. Knew it. Can you tell us about that life?
Erik shows me that it was like in a fishing community. So, and I feel like it was where the fishing community was like in a cold place. And I'm asking him where that is, and the North Atlantic, wherever that is. I'm trying to think of where the North. He says it's over in that area. And he keeps saying, he says the North Atlantic, and I'm going to Alaska, and that is not the same place. But he's telling me the North Atlantic somewhere over in that area, and he says it's like they were both fishermen,
Were they friends or were they related? Because I'm hoping
he says
that Jim was his father and would turn him over his knee and spank him every once in a while. But
I can't. There was a father-son relationship in there, but I can't tell who was who, and I can't tell who was who, though. I can't.
Hey, Michelle, what do you take a stab at it? Ask Erik.
I do get father and son.
Okay.
I do get father and son. Mm-hmm.
Who was father? Who was son?
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm going to say, too, when father and son, so Jimbo father and Erik is son, but it doesn't feel like I don't know if it's an adoption or it's something that there's not a traditional, birth father relationship.
Okay.
So maybe, Denise, that might have been what you were feeling.
Okay, yeah.
Too,
yeah.
Yeah. Like it could have been a relative, like an uncle, but it's that type of energy.
Maybe somebody who took Erik under his wing, or vice versa, to learn the fishing trade, something like that, or what?
It feels like Erik was the one that was taken under the wing. Yes.
Yes, that's what I got.
Okay. So, yeah. Jim, what do you have to ask Erik? I just totally took over your thing.
Oh no, that's just it's crazy. I'm so surprised. Well, I guess for some of the signs, I'm wondering, was it Erik who?
Oh yeah, okay. Why don't you back up, Jimbo, and tell him? I mean, he sent me an email like 5 days after we did the energy repair, protection, and enhancement. It was an amazing experience for him. Do you want to talk about that? And then let's go into the orbs and all that stuff that you saw?
Yeah. So initially, I first ordered the healing recommendations and the first is like maybe like the day I ordered it or the day after, somewhere around there, I started seeing these little green orbs kind of hovering around my living room somewhere. I wasn't entirely sure what they were. But I was like, okay, that's kind of weird, but I'll just go with it, okay. And I went on along, and eventually I was watching more of the videos, and I was like, you know what, I'm just going to go for it. I'll just go get the ERPE work. Let's just see how this goes. And that the day that I ordered it, I was watching YouTube, and on my homepage, I just randomly saw this video that was recommended to me. It said, Jimbo, the friendly baloney ghost.
That's so funny.
Yes, from a YouTube channel called House of Jimbo. I was like, is this really happening?
That's crazy.
Yes, it was so strange. And just earlier last week, I was driving home from work, and there was a car that drove by me that had Erik in giant letters on their back windshield. It was spelled the C instead of a K, but I was like, that can't be a coincidence. Like that's just too random to just see the name Erik driving right by me.
Yeah.
So weird. I was like, I'm assuming that was Erik who did all that stuff.
He says I kept getting louder and louder.
But also, when you after the ERPE was done, you walked into your home and you had some incredible feelings. Is that right?
Yeah, that's correct. I walked into my apartment, and it was weird. It was like I walked into this warm, enveloping feeling. It was really weird. It was like I walked into like a different area. You know, it was just felt warm. It felt inviting, and
nice.
I was just like, wow, it feels like home. Like I really liked it.
Okay, so Erik, what are the three how many what are the green orbs? I can't remember how many, James, you said there were, but who was there?
So, James, is your father on the other side?
No, he's still here.
Because I kept getting a father feel.
Grandfather?
So did I.
Or maybe a father from another life, you know?
Interesting.
Yeah, because I wrote father and then in green, and that's what I got from that. But that's what I got.
What's that all about, Erik? Father figure?
Are you close with your father?
He and I have had some problems, I would say.
The reason I ask is I feel like this is like some fathering energy is needed, you know, and it doesn't, not trying to replace or take place or anything, but I just felt like some fathering energy around there. And but Erik does say, of course he's around. Of course he's around, he says. Of course.
What about the other orbs? One was Erik. One was some father figure, maybe a father from another life, an uncle, or whatever, some father figure. What else, Erik?
So there's archangel energy there as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, archangel energy. I actually did get Raphael, and I do get Metatron with you as well. Mhm. And what Erik just said, he was talking about when you just commented about walking into your apartment or about feeling different. He said it was like, and I'll tell you the visual he gave me was like a flash of lightning. It was like when that work was done, that was like lightning struck, like a very quick change. And he says because that's what was needed. It's time.
Yeah, that does make sense because it was just a sudden shift. Just my whole body, I just super energized.
It is done. We just did it recently. There's more to come. Okay, more to come. And I'm so proud of you, Jimbo. I'm very proud of you for gifting yourself with that because so many people feel like I don't deserve it. I need to do stuff for other people. And I'm so proud of you for having the courage to do that, you know?
Thank you.
I want you to keep in touch with us, okay? Because lots more to come with you.
Also, too, Erik says, what did those green orbs feel like to you? And he says you don't have to, like, answer it right now, but just go back and think about how you felt when you saw those green orbs and just connect to those energies, he said. You know, and you can be connecting with those energies, taking a shower, taking a bath, washing your hands, whatever, shaving, you know, brushing your hair. If you don't shave, then whatever, you know, putting on socks, you know, just, he says, just connect with those energies of how you felt. And he said also to really write down how it felt when you walked into your apartment, try to put it into words. And he says, and keep that to yourself for a little bit before you go telling a whole lot of people about it, you know. And I know you spoke some here, but you really didn't go into detail as much as what it was. He says, but write it down and keep that. And he says, and just try to go back into that feeling, how you felt, you know, like when you're doing dishes, taking a shower, or whatever.
Enjoy it.
Because that's the beginning of like some really fun, amazing stuff.
I mean, I do think that Jimbo, there's more to come with him, and no doubt Erik nudged him here, his son, his little rascally son from another life or whatever. And so I want you to call back, and we've got more to discuss, I think.
Yes, ma'am. This is this is so new. I'm so excited. I'm so happy. I'm ready. Like, I don't know. I'm just really excited.
I think there's some great things in store for you that will help humanity. I just feel it.
I just want to squeeze on. So excited.
All right, darling. Thanks for calling in, and we'll talk later.
Bye, Jimbo.
Bye, Jimbo.
Bye. Have a nice night.
You too.
You too.
I just feel this strong connection between Erik and him. It's like, I don't always do that either. So, yeah. All right, 501 area code. Let me try that again.
Miss Lisa.
There you go. Hi there. How you doing? Hey,
Hello?
are you here?
Yes, I'm here.
Donna?
I thought I heard somebody chime in.
No, that's me. What you got going on, girl?
Well, how about a peach cobbler when I meet you here soon?
Oh, my God. I love peach cobbler.
Me too.
Oh, I got a recipe for one. 1901 from my grandmother. Oh, my God. All right, so
I'll bring you all a peach cobbler.
All right.
Oh,
so, Donna, what you got for us?
Well, I was wondering, since everybody don't have Twitter and Facebook and all that stuff, I was wondering if Erik could extend the abundance of luck for just a little bit longer.
Of luck, and well, he did actually through a certain order number, which happened to be on the 20th. I will wait for him to tell me when to do it again, but it does take extra time, a lot of extra time, to do the abundance of. He did this for Valentine's Day. I mean, not Valentine's, St. Patty's Day, just for 24 hours during St. Patty's Day. But then he told me that let's go through XYZ to this person on the 20th. So I did that. But I'm sure he will make that happen again. I hope so. I've got it on my calendar to ask him again. Are we ready for another one? But it's not like it doesn't take. It's like it takes zero time. It really takes a lot of time. So let's see what it does for the people we gave it to, and go from there. Is it going to work,
okay.
Erik? Erik told me it's an average time of kicking in like 2 weeks. Average.
Erik says yes because it works. The layers it's working through.
Okay. Donna, when was your last portal work?
I believe it was about 4 months ago. I was thinking about getting the new.
Well, you can wait
PRP.
until 6 months. Eric seems to think that a lot of people need it every 6 months for like 2 times because so many trapped emotions and so much, so much. But all right, well, I will announce when Eric wants to do this again because I think that I want people to be lucky. But you have to realize that any winnings you get from the lotto, I get 20%. I'm kidding.
Correct.
That's fine.
Just kidding. All right, Donna, keep watching. I will send out an announcement, okay?
Okay. All right. Love y'all.
Love you.
Love you. How cute.
All right. Now we have the 631 area code. Hi there.
No walking in.
631 area code. How you doing?
Oh, hi. How are you?
Good. How you doing?
I'm okay. Thanks so much for taking my call. It's one of those nights that this show is giving me some advice. I have a dog that's 11 years old and about 2 years ago was diagnosed with it's really rough, and I know it just goes, the valves and stuff like that just goes on and on. But talking about communication tonight, I was hoping maybe somehow I could find out. I mean, she sits and she stares at me, and I'm the meanie because I got to give her the medicine. And you know what I mean? And she doesn't want the medicine anymore.
Oh.
And I just look at her and I'm like, did I do okay? And how do I just want to know.
What's your name? What's your name and what's the dog? I mean, your first name and the dog's name.
Sure. My name is Christine, and her name is Goody.
Goody.
Oh,
what town are you in?
I'm in Holbrook in New York.
Okay, Holbrook, New York. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, Denise, you want to take this, or Michelle?
Michelle, you go ahead.
Well, I was just let me ask you a question here because Eric's taking me to the energy of the congestive heart failure, and he's saying that. Well, okay. Before I say this, let me ask you: did you just say you were worried about, like, what was the last part that you said about giving the medicine?
Yeah, when I have to give her medicine now, I know she doesn't like it. She doesn't like it. Do I continue it? I don't know where I stand with her, how much longer. I know she's end stage. I mean, she can just get up and do potty. She can eat. She still eats because now I give her a liquid diet, so she still eats. But I just don't, I just want to know I'm doing the right thing. And I mean, I know we can't tell.
What does she want?
No.
What does she want?
Yeah.
The first thing that he's saying is he says you're doing the very best you can.
Okay.
So he wants to make sure that you know that, and because she knows you're doing the very best you can.
Okay.
She come into this life to be with you, to have this journey of friendship with you. And what Eric's saying is that the heart, he says, is connected to the energy of fear, picking up on fear in the environment. And he says, but that's part of the contract.
Okay.
That's part of the contract. So, because he's just saying it in a way of, don't think of that as something that you've done wrong. Because it's not. It's not something that you've done wrong. He said that she's going to let you know, and you will know.
Well, what message can you get from her now?
Okay.
Can Goody give a message now? Any kind of message?
Right now, Goody's comfortable.
Okay.
Is she still? Does she flop over for a belly rub, or like a scratch? Or, yeah.
Oh yes. Not anymore.
Because
but,
she's like,
yeah.
She's like, I'd take a little bit of that more, please.
Oh, so he knows her well. That's why we named her Goody. She's such a Goody.
Yeah,
so sweet.
That's sweet. That's sweet. No, you're doing a good job. You're doing a good job.
Thank
That's
you.
awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for calling
You're
in.
welcome.
Oh, it's so
Thank
hard.
you.
Oh my God. All right,
Christine.
you know what I'll do when Stella's time is
Oh.
All right, we got somebody from the 304 area code. Hello, how you doing?
Hello, this is Gretchen
Hi.
from West Virginia.
Wait, I stepped on you. What's the first name?
Gretchen from West Virginia.
Gretchen, yes. Well, does your last name start with a K?
Yes.
Okay, all right, I know you are.
You've done a lot of work for me. How are you guys doing?
We're doing great.
Good.
What's going on with you, girl?
Oh, I just thought I'd ask for a message, either from Erik or my higher self. Doesn't matter. What do I need to know?
You sound very frustrated, Gretchen.
Well, right when you said that, Erik said, know that you're the best that you are.
Okay.
So I don't know how that plays into whatever it is, that question you're wanting, but I heard just know that you're the best that you are. Erik says it's almost like it's hard for you to believe that you're this incredible individual.
I get that.
Yeah, I do struggle with self-worth and self-esteem.
Yeah, Erik says, he says it's almost like you need to skip around, because when we're skipping, we can't be in that seriousness. And it's almost like he says you need to skip around and chew bubblegum and just saying, I'm so cute, I'm so great, I'm so wonderful, and just do that, even if it's 5 minutes. And he says if you can't do that, because of physical limitations or, noise or whatever, he says envision yourself doing that, walking, skipping around, chewing bubble gum. He says, because you can chew bubble gum or do something. And when he said that, I heard ice cream bubble gum. But just go, just do that and just start doing that. He says you need to breathe out some of that seriousness. He said,
tap into your inner child. I mean, you guys have to realize that everyone listening, and everyone really, is perfect. Perfect. I mean, for the love of God, you are whole and part of God. Okay? You are divine creatures. You are so
sometimes you need reminded
that you don't even realize. And the problem is that other lives and the factors in this life have brought you guys down unnecessarily. But you are stronger than that. And you fight against these external messages and say, fucking perfect, man. I am whole and part of God, man. I am divine, man. I have complete sovereign control over my energy, and no one is allowed to access it except for me without my express permission. So you got to realize that. Do you think she would benefit by the boost in self-love if she hadn't had it already from the skater?
I've been thinking about that.
Erik said, yeah,
Should
but
I
when
go that route?
Erik says if you have that done, make sure you wear pink or something. He keeps showing me a lot of pink energy around you. What do you get, Michelle?
Mm-hmm. Yes, pink and purple. I'm getting pink and purple, and yes, and he's also saying courage. He said tap into that energy of courage, because he says you've got an abundance, he shows me like a cork, like that cork is ready to pop, and you've got abundance coming to you, and we're not just talking about the financial abundance, but in feeling joy, in feeling like a breath of fresh air. And he says, those opportunities, don't worry about, am I going to do this good enough? Am I going to be able to get through this good enough? Am I good enough to do this or that? He says something about mistakes. So I don't know if you're worried about making a mistake or about things being perfect, because he says, don't even worry about that. And by the way, he says, Mom, that was me. You channeled Erik there, Lisa.
Ooh,
that was
yeah, because I was definitely not smart enough to figure that one out. All right, I'm thinking personally that Gretchen K should have, if she hadn't had it recently, I don't remember her having it, but my mind is gone. the ERPE tune-up instead of the Boost in Self-Love, because there is language in there that opens portals, that brings in the abundance of everything, including the abundance of financial wealth, perfect health, self-love, everything. So I'm thinking it's the same price. I personally would choose the ERPE tune-up. And that way
I was
everybody's
going to do
family,
that
would be the better one.
Yeah, I think that would be the best one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm about due for that in June, I think.
Hey, Gretchen, are you like coming in front of something coming your way to move forward, like to engage in, or something that's you're kind of like resisting, like an opportunity being approached to you, or you see something that you'd like to approach or something?
Not that I'm aware of.
The reason why,
specific.
Because I feel like you're like got one foot just a little bit through the fear, but it's still resting in the fear, and it's almost like there's no way I could be this wonderful. Is it something subconscious? Yeah, we do it subconscious because I don't think we would intentionally do it, but I don't know. I just feel like there's an opportunity coming to you or something.
There's going to be something coming. That's exactly what it is, because there's something coming. And that's why he's saying that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
thank you, Gretchen.
Thank you. Love you guys.
So, look, Gretchen, I mean, we added stuff in October, and I think she had it since then, but we had the Other Life Bleed-Through block in February, so maybe that will be with her tune-up. So, all right, Gretchen, hang in there, girl. I know you are. She's amazing. She really is. All right, so let's see, 347 area code. Oh, my grandson, Easton, is constantly texting me. Oh, my God.
So my son does me.
I know.
That's funny.
Hi there.
How old is he now?
Hi there. How you doing?
Hi.
Hello.
Hey, are you there?
Good. Yes.
What's your name and what can we do for you?
Hi, Lindsay. Sorry, I've been calling for so long. I kind of like surreal that you guys actually responded this time.
Yeah, you Lindsay.
Okay, Ethan, I'm on my radio show. I will call you right back, okay? Bye. Oh, God. Okay, go ahead. He kept FaceTiming me constantly, so I had to do something. All right, go ahead.
No problem at all. Such an honor to speak with you guys. Thank you so much.
Likewise.
I've been listening to you for years.
Likewise.
Awesome.
Thank you.
So my question really quickly is, I've been in a relationship for, nearly almost 20 years, and it recently broke up, but yet it's interesting, the second, the last bit of the relationship, of course, was not good, but it was like the second the breakup happened, all of a sudden my partner just changed overnight, and all of a sudden he's this very sweet, loving person that I wish he could have been the entire time.
Wow.
Is there any chance for reconciliation with him, that he'll want to get back with me? And so when?
Yeah, why did that happen?
Like last week. Literally like last week.
No. Why did this change happen in him, guys? Denise and Erik, and any chance of reconciliation? So why the change?
Well, Erik says it's easy to show that you changed completely when you're not under the same roof.
Mm-hmm.
And Erik says you're always going to be on your best behavior, because he says when you're acting crappy because you feel crappy. So you know how to present yourself to. And I just feel like were you the one that wanted the breakup?
No, he did actually. It was very abrupt, and like he said, his communication was never his strong suit. But it seems like, I told him, before the breakup, as the breakup was happening, he was saying, look, there's no, I have to go. I have to move out. So he moved out, but he only moved out about 15 minutes from me. So he's still in and he's still talking to me. He's still, reminding me things. He's still communicating with me, which is like so odd, because when I couple that with his good behavior and how nice he is, it's almost like, did you really want to break up in the first place, or did you just want time apart to think about what you wanted?
Right.
Well, what I'm getting from Erik, and Michelle, please chime in. I'm just getting, Lindsay, just stay on your side of the fence for right now. It's like,
okay,
yes, because, and I just, and give yourself a chance to breathe, and that's what he's just telling me. Michelle, what do you get?
Well, first of all, there's something that Erik's showing me about his balance, and him going is to create balance for himself. So what you're seeing right now, you may get back together, but the thing is keeping things as it is right now is important, because what you're seeing is not a clear picture of what is actually going on. There's some, and I'm not sure quite how to put it together, because Erik just keeps showing me the word balance and flipping it upside down. Is there something, was he acting odd before he left, aside from, was there something, because it feels like something going on in him that is not balanced.
Yes.
And he needs to straighten that out. So, for you to know, is there a possibility for things to come back together? There is, but this time apart is purposeful. Like, it needs to happen. It needed to happen. He made the right choice by going, because it's like he's not thinking straight, and
that's right.
He needs that opportunity to be away, to be able to piece things together. And if you guys came back together or tried to work on that right now, it's like it just wouldn't be right. It would happen again.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That makes sense. Okay. Thank you so much. That helps me a lot, because I'm thinking in my head, what did I do? Because I've always put in more effort.
It sounds like it's him.
No.
It sounds like it's something he's working through. So that's good.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you guys so much.
Yeah, good luck.
You, sweetie.
All right, guys. I think we will wrap it up for today. You guys, please check out DeniseRamon.com and thehealing-art.com, Michelle Gray. And y'all, be sure you hit the notification bell and subscribe to this channel. Anything else you guys want to say? Erik, I love you.
I love all three of you. I love you, Michelle.
I love you guys too.
And Erik knows I
love you all. I love you, Michelle. I love Denise. I love all you listeners.
Absolutely.
Me too.
All right. Bye, everyone. Good night.
Good night, everyone. Happy 2222 again.